What's that one movie? I heard about this on a podcast today, and I missed this movie. It was like maybe 10 years ago where like AI robots are real and they start becoming like more alive and like as usual the storyline has to go where the guy falls in love with like the robot and then she betrays him, locks him in a room. Total devastating. I cannot remember the name. Say it. That's a terrible segue into this episode if I'm gonna segue into some battle form. So, but I'm going to because I'm just gonna let that just linger in the back of my head. So that's just how I am. But I am Andrew Van, and this is the One Star Review podcast. And we are back with a second episode coming back into the hibernation that I had to take as a person, as a human being. But we're back and we're bringing new episodes with this one being Trappe Door with my new co-hosts, Chris Wolf. And Chris Wolf, you may recognize from the Villain Support YouTube page.
Yep. Been doing villain support for about 3 years. The whole concept is that villains are incompetent and they have a customer service line they call for help. It's super fun. Check it out if you like that kind of stuff. But I'm super excited to be on here. When Andrew introduced me to the concept, I was on board immediately. Super fun to look at, good restaurants in the area, but read the few bad reviews.
And the concept of this podcast, for those who've never listened to the One Star Review podcast, a couple years back, I decided that it would be fun to read the bad reviews of good places out of good sport, right? Like I'm not here to shit on a place. I'm not here to say this place is bad. There's too many people who already do that. If it's not already on Google, if it's not already on TikTok and people are just being entitled and bratty, I like to read the bad reviews and just kind of putting a twist on it, turning bad press into good press. Today, genuinely one of my favorite places, and I have not been in a while. I should, but I think now as I'm talking to you that I may have done this episode, but you know what? It's been a couple of years, and like I said, we took a 2-year hiatus almost, but it is Trappe Door. If you haven't been able to tell from the title when you clicked on the podcast, Trappe Door, Greenville, South Carolina, off of Washington Street. It is below Charleston Wings. It used to be Wild Wings, which is why I keep struggling in my head to not say Wild Wings, but it's been closed down for a couple years now. But now it's a Charleston Sports Pub, and right next to Belladina's. And then there's a new place on that corner where Barley's used to be, but that's a whole different story. We'll talk about down the road.
I haven't been to that place yet. Yeah, so,
but it is an underground bar and is German-inspired, if I'm not mistaken.
Belgian.
That's right. God, I'm gonna get hate mail now, but
no, it's all
I don't know
good.
if people send hate mail or they just comment badly. I guess comment badly, right?
Comment badly. They leave 1-star reviews.
Yeah, and that's how we're born, folks. So don't write me mail unless you have the free time and you really work on your penmanship. But in the meantime, Trappe Door, Greenville, South Carolina, Washington Street, and me personally, I love going to this place because you can get a really good price. Steak and frites. Yeah. It's a place where you can get like I said, Belgian-inspired. So there's going to be, I think, like over 9 choices of mayonnaise to dip your frites with.
Yeah. I would argue that this is the best steak in Greenville.
Ooh.
Even against like the real high-end places. It's fantastic. The fries are my favorite fries in town. They beat out Windy City by a little bit. But yeah,
man, that is saying something.
The European style of dipping fries in mayonnaise versus, I didn't know about flavored mayonnaises until I went there, but like it's such a good meal.
I generally stay within the same kind of palette, like the garlic. I think there's one curry one that I like, and then there's something else. But there's one that I definitely stay with. I think they have a wasabi one.
They have a wasabi, and they have like an island flavor, like Pacific flavored, like like Tutti Frutti or whatever it is. It's not, since that one is called, but it's very much like, it seems like it's like tropical theme. Tropical is the word I was looking for.
I hope it's named Tutti Frutti, and if not, you know what? If anyone listens to this, and I've, you know what, in the past episodes, I've had business owners find me and actually give me like positive, nice messages. Shout out to Wes of Verde Room. Shout out to Pita House. And so if anyone knows anyone at Trappe Door, we got a new name for a mayonnaise for you, Tutti Frutti. Just make it happen. It doesn't even have to be tropical. If you just get Tutti Frutti on there, we'll know we made it, folks. But again, this is Trappe Door with
Can I take the
Desktop.
first review?
Shoot away.
Because I've got an opinion on this one. So the first is written by someone who is a local guide. Had the worst French onion soup of my life. They packaged it in a cup. So tacky. Tasted like pea mush with a bread on top. A bread. I actually can't believe it was French onion soup. I am shocked. I threw it out. What a waste. Well, news to this person, it's not French onion soup. The menu says Flemish onion soup. Flemish being from Belgium. So I've realized that FLEMISH and FRENCH might look similar, but they're not the same word. And yes, it is thicker than French onion soup. It does taste a little bit like pea soup inspired, and it's got a little piece of bread in it, and it's spicy, and I think it's amazing. But if I'm expecting liquidy, oniony, cheesy on top French onion soup, I can imagine how they would be very disappointed.
Well, I mean, you knew what you were ordering, and you had the mentality of like, this is what I'm getting. I know what I'm ordering. I know what it's supposed to taste like,
Yeah.
rather than somebody who thought they were in Panera. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking Panera's French onion soup. I like French onion soup, but that is the only place I can think of. Like, why would you even compare that to anything else? So,
Well, and the picture they left is on their own kitchen counter, clearly in a plastic cup. Did you expect they were going to send it back to you in a ceramic mug or a bowl? Like,
that's a business idea, folks. Just saying, if you can afford local pottery, I'm just kidding. Don't go out of the route. Yeah, exactly. And like, I don't know, it looks like bad yogurt. And honestly, maybe that's something on them to maybe not offer it to get order, because there are some places that definitely like it is not the same experience when you get it as a DoorDash as
oh
compared
yeah,
to like eating in the restaurant. So
yeah, yeah.
maybe that's one of them. Maybe that lady just didn't know what she was ordering. But again, I think you hit it on the head when she's like, French onion soup. You had a bad way going into that segue.
Yeah.
All right. I try not to read the names of places, but maybe this is a business and maybe shout out to them. Black Widow Blanks. Pathetic for a place with such hype. What is the deal with this restaurant? The food was almost good enough for QT. I had the sausage absolutely a 0. Jimmy Dean has better quality. Seems to be the place to go to get blindly drunk, then order food. Remember how great those frozen burritos were in college when you partied? That's what you can expect here. Don't bring your family here, just a bunch of local drunks pretending the food is awesome. Also, foolishly overpriced, but if you have eaten elsewhere, you won't go back to get the cash now. Okay, I want to read that last sentence again. But if you have ever eaten elsewhere, you won't be back, so get the cash now. I don't know what that means.
Money now?
I don't know. The only time I ever associate like cash in a restaurant is pita house, because you have to pay with cash or a check.
Right.
So I don't know what that means but if you have ever eaten elsewhere, you won't be back, so get the cash now.
That makes
I
me
mean,
think of J.P. Wentworth.
thank you. That's exactly what I was going to do.
I have
Get
this
my
drug
money. Get
and
the
I
cash
need
now.
cash now.
Okay, so I'm gonna break this one down for a second. Okay, first up, okay, as somebody who likes QT's food, like I remember there was a year, I think I was talking to Nicole at Alchemy one year, Alchemy Comedy, and I said I've gone 3 months without eating QT roller food. I guess that's a new record for me. So I say that because I generally don't dislike QT roller food, but I will say that is quite insulting when you're putting Trapdoor next to QT quality. Also, Jimmy
Yeah.
Dean, shout out Jimmy Dean, but at the same time, there's a huge difference between like a brat, a quality brat, than a Jimmy Dean. And I don't know, the place where I go party at is called Waffle House, which hey, it's a treasure here. I don't know how much you ate at Waffle House before moving to the South, but that place is a gem here as well. So
If we can segue to Waffle House real quick, I had never eaten one before I moved here. There's a similar place up north called Perkins.
Yeah.
that I used to go to, but Perkins is much bigger. Waffle House is that little tiny
We
place.
had one Perkins once upon a time in Greenville.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool. I mean,
Yep.
when I was in college in Iowa, Perkins was 24 hours is where we would go after we got drunk. But Waffle House, I've been once, and I was not. I got heartburn from it, and I have not been back.
Oh, no. God. The only memory I have of that Perkins, one, it was on for Greenville native listeners. It was on Woodruff Road, right in front of the Walmart. I think it is now the Burger King or the
Okay.
um or the car wash place slash coffee shop little pit. Anyway, when I was a kid, I think I was like at least a teenager. I want to say like 13, 15 in that realm, and we had it. So 25 years ago, tells you my age. And my mom at the time would have been like in her mid 50s, early 50s. So we go eat, it's just me and her hanging out, having some quality time. And she got mad at the waitress because my mom ordered like the breakfast platter, or whatever it was. And the waitress just automatically assumed that my mom was a senior and brought her the
Oh.
senior special, put it on the receipt as a senior special. And my mom was definitely just like, "Excuse me, what the hell is this?" I was just like quiet in the background, just like, I just want to go. Can
Oh.
we just get out of here, please? So, yeah, it was
I
bad.
have so many memories of destroying a tremendous 12 at Perkins.
I don't know what that is. Please explain what is a tremendous.
Tremendous 12 is it's four pancakes. No, sorry, three pancakes, two pieces of toast, two eggs, no, three eggs, and then three pieces of bacon.
Okay, so that's like almost like
It's just
a
a
yeah.
very big plate of food. It's it's like they went, Denny's has got the grand slam, and we need to go grander than that.
Oh,
And
for sure.
um the one of my good friends and I went one night. We just graduated college. We were living together in an apartment, and Perkins was cheap food, a lot of food for not a lot of money. And we went, and he ate one, and he was like, "Man," and he goes, "I could almost eat another one." And the server goes, "If you eat another one, I'll buy you a piece of pie." He goes, "Okay, bring me another one." He ate the second one, and then ate the pie, and then spent 3 days. We just didn't see him.
You just knew that he's like, he could be dead, but at least he's happy.
He's just hid in
At least
his
he,
room for 3 days.
he at least had
Uh,
one last grand meal. Oh, it's terrible.
yeah.
Uh,
Let's shift back to Trap Door. We've
yeah, yeah. Let's
yeah.
see. You got the next one?
Yep. The saltiest, most overpriced food you will ever have in your life. This place is dirty and very slow. You would think, for how slow it is, that you will have amazing and fresh food. Nope. Do not come here if you actually enjoy good food. Please, do not waste your money on $35 plates. Dirty, nasty place, dirty, nasty food, 0 stars. If you like this place, then you have never cooked a good meal in your life. Just because you got drunk here does not mean the food is good. Stop giving 5 stars. I want to know when people are going to Trapdoor, or excuse me, when people are going to Trapdoor, because every time I've been, yeah, the bar is packed, but it's not rowdy. It's, you can hear each other talking. It's good ambiance, and the food takes a while because it's amazing food.
What's crazy too is the person made those complaints. First off, can't really tell if it's dirty because it's in a basement and it's dark. It's intimately lit, so you can't really see too much. Well, with that being said, they took a photo, posted it with that review, and it's a full restaurant.
Yeah,
So I don't know. Maybe ironically achieved something there. I don't know. The next
I
one is
mean,
good.
if you look at the plates in the foreground in his picture, that look like probably his plates. Those don't look too dirty to me.
I'm gonna read the one after that one, or the one two after that one, because the next one just complains that there's no hostess station or the host is left them waiting. I think that sometimes when I read those, that someone complains about a hostess leaving them hanging, I feel like it's always embellished, so it's not really worth the time reading. But hey, if I'm wrong, sorry. Every time I've gone in there, the host is at least nice, and even if they gotta wait, I'll at least try to make a reservation next time. So Was excited to go to this place, to come to this place, as I heard so much about it. Disappointed to say at the least. Didn't have my reservation. Gave us the smallest table in the house. Food was subpar. Shell in my husband's dish. Mussels smelled awful, and the only thing that was up to par was the service. We did have an awesome server. Not sure what the fuss is about, but truly disgusted. This place is a trap door. Wires everywhere. I don't understand the allure at all. I'm trying to think through that one there. Just
You know what you
wires
can do?
everywhere.
You can make reservations online on their website, and then you have a record of what you did on your phone when you show up. This is just a
Yep.
year ago.
See the next
I'm trying.
one.
Wires everywhere.
Yeah, I can't really think of through that one of what that
No.
like. I mean, was it like a holiday time? Did they have lights up or something like that? I've never been there where I'm just like, oh, there's like electrical cords everywhere.
So next one is food is good, but the front workers are so unfriendly. We've been here 3 times, and each time they give off a bad attitude. The servers are excellent, but the owner should look into how they welcome customers. So I will tell you that if you want to eat at Trapdoor, you typically got to get reservations a week in advance. It's a rare day that you will find reservations same day, and walk-ins, you're going to wait quite a while. And the front end people, when you go, they're typically like there's such an influx of people. They're typically kind of they're flustered. So also, why leave a 1-star review when everything else about your review is good, but you just think that the front end workers have a bad attitude? Food
Some
is
people
good.
take,
The servers are great.
yeah, it's like that could have been a 3, maybe like 4, but it's like no. That one thing is gonna linger and just like tank everything else about this experience.
Yeah.
Best frites, best steak, but hey, you talk to me nasty as I walk in, I'm still gonna give you the money. I
Right.
just I just may not like you. So
You don't drop to the floor and kiss my feet and smile at me. I'm not eating here again.
first off, you go to a place that you eat and they kiss your feet. That not sanitary. Also, folks, just saying.
What
Uh,
what if you're wearing gloves?
maybe, but you gotta like flip the glove off, throw it away, right? So,
Right.
uh,
Right.
let's see. A disappointing experience. We had dined here before on one of my visits with our son and had such an amazing and memorable experience. We told so many people about it and we cannot wait to return. Last night was bad enough that I'm not sure we will ever return. Although we had a reservation, we were seated near the door, parentheses, and had a constant stream of cold air, and near the bar, parentheses, constant knocks from the people camped out there. Appetizer and dinner took 2+ hours from start to finish. My food was good. The seafood stew, it was hot. But I later learned my husband's and son's food, the short ribs and the sausages, were served tippet. Wish I had known I had would ever have sent the entire meal back or walked out at that point. For a close to $200 dining experience with tip, I expect much more. They need to get it together or their uniqueness will not matter. Okay. So, previous good experience, then the very next day, bad experience. And I'm trying to think like the scenario here. So, she had good food. Husband and son, not so much. The short ribs,
The,
and I've had the short ribs, and they are tremendous because they're served over like a bed of mashed potatoes, if I remember.
the big
Um,
complaint here. So here's a couple things. One, they're seated near the door. Well, there's tables near the door. The tables have got to be somewhere, right? And the cold air, which is just a situational thing. It's cold in winter, and the door opens and air goes through. Especially when you go down the stairs, that door
mhm.
opens, it kind of sucks the air in. It's gonna happen. Um, and if they're busy, it can take a while to get your food.
I'm trying to remember though, like where would you be sitting though, where the cold air actually hits you? Because you walk down the stairs, but then you hook to the right, and there's
Yeah,
the bar. and there's no tables there right away. So I don't
There's
know.
a
Maybe it
there's a
was
good 15 feet before there's a table, and then there's
right.
the long rectangular tables between the bar and the rest of the tables in the restaurant, and it's probably one of those.
Well, it's either that or there's also like a back door towards the restrooms, if I remember correctly. So I'm just trying to think if it
Yeah,
was maybe that one. It just that's
but
that's interesting to yeah explain
that's
about
away
that.
from the bar though. I don't know.
Mm. All right, I'll let you read one more. You got one?
All right. I preface this by saying I've had two wonderful meals here before, but tonight was truly terrible and horribly managed. Went at 5:30 and told the waitress we had to make a 7:30 concert. I assumed that was enough time, but an hour and a half later we were still waiting for our three entrees. Finally had to send the party on while I tried to settle up. Manager offered no compensation and still made us pay for everything. Waitress was good, but I highly recommend avoiding. Do you have any sort of agenda for the night? So you didn't ask, can we get in and out in 2 hours? You just said we need to be out in 2 hours. And the server said the host or server waitress said, okay, we'll do our best, but we're
Yeah, I
busy.
mean, they're always going to try their best. They can't always accommodate depending how busy it is. But also, the thing at the beginning of that review is one of my pet peeves too, where someone says, "I've had really good experiences X amount of times before," but it's the one bad time where you had to
Yeah.
get the hell out for a concert that you decide to actually put a review, and you're going to leave a bad review of a place you supposedly liked before. That
And they
that
didn't
drives me
clarify.
nuts. Of like, that's the whole point of this podcast. Of like, people you don't want to take the time to praise and give positive, but man, cross me off one time, man, like
Hmm.
it is game over. So
I wonder how long their two previous wonderful meals there took. I bet you they didn't time them
yeah, right. So
because
if you
they're
already had
wonderful.
that expectation going in there, it's like, well, you already they already failed in your eyes.
2.5, 3 hours later, like, oh man, that was good.
All right, trapdoor. You said it there at the beginning that the steak and the frites some of the best in the upstate.
I would argue best in Greenville from what
I've
I've
had
had.
the mussels. They're really good there as well. I just mentioned
Hmm.
the short ribs. My wife has gotten that before, and she does not eat a lot of red meat, but for some reason that thing sticks out. I know they have like a 20-page drink menu. Like it's a
Yeah.
very
Oh,
well-rounded drink menu. Probably one of the best you'll see around here. All kinds of just beers and liquors just from all over the place you can think imagine. And I don't know, like there is a quaintness to it. Like I can still remember for me that it was like a little hidden gem, even when it opened, over a decade ago. And now the fact that like you said earlier, you have to get a reservation now.
yeah.
That
Oh, yeah.
that to me puts a smile on my face. I love seeing places succeed, especially in my town, my hometown. So now knowing that, you know, this place went from literally an underground, almost like you have to kind of know about it kind of place to now
Hmm.
you have to get a reservation. And that's true because I tried going with some friends who were in town from actually Chicago not too long ago. And we were like, hey, let's just pop in and see what's going on. And I was not upset when I walked in and there was like a party of six of us and they didn't have anything like the whole night, and
Yeah.
they didn't have reservation. So I was like, you know what? Not even upset. Like, good for them. Now
Yep.
I could go on and leave a 1-star review, but I already left a 5-star review, so I can't do that now. So
I discovered my favorite beer at Trap Door. It's
go on.
so in Belgium, the beer that they don't do like lagers, ales, stouts, whatever. It's singles, doubles, triples, and quads. And the more you get, that's how many fermentations that it goes through. And there's a beer called the Golden Drac, Guldendraak, which means golden dragon. And the Golden Drac is a triple, and the Golden Drac 9000 is a quad. And they're both very like floral and herby, but the final fermentation is with a wine yeast instead of a beer yeast. So there's a really interesting, not bad wine aftertaste. It's the most unique beer. It's incredible.
I am gonna say on the record, and I mean this with my whole heart, that it's nice to have a partner who knows their beer because I don't. I generally don't. I drink beer occasionally. I like having, something light, maybe a little, and I hate saying sometimes an IPA, but I kind of mix it up depending on the season. Um, and I'm just that guy that's like, this tastes good. So it is nice to have somebody who has terminology down, taste, just experience, whatever. So it's nice to have a
My
balance there.
my German roots like the thick heavy beers. I'm a huge fan of stouts and porters.
Oh yeah, I like
Um,
those.
I don't like light beers. I don't like IPAs.
It's piss
I
water.
want like Guinness. Guinness is one of my favorite beers of all time. It's typically my go to wherever I go.
I love a Guinness,
If I'm
but I
having a
can
beer.
only drink it by itself. I can't drink a Guinness and have a meal. It's like too heavy for me.
Oh,
But
okay.
I like them. Anyway, Trap Door. Look, here's the thing. There are more one-star reviews. But you know what also? Like we said, the popularity of this place has grown so much. There's almost 2,000 Google reviews. And out of 2,000 Google reviews, this place still has a 4.7 average. So
Yep.
that should tell you something there. And I would say if I have someone coming from out of town, I like to just make sure if someone coming from out of town to take them to a unique Greenville only place. This is going to be one of those places for me. This is going to be one of those places where I'm like, I want to take you here. It's pretty cool. And it's right in the middle of downtown. You walk out
Yeah.
and you can go almost anywhere else in Greenville just walking around. Um, so that tells you there. So you love it too. I love it.
Yep.
So check out Trapdoor. Again, try to get a reservation ahead of time, or maybe see if there's any cancellations and so on. The Trapdoor, 23 West Washington Street, Greenville, South Carolina. This has been one-star reviews. Again, my name is Andrew Van. If you've liked this podcast, give us a like, subscribe, whatever it is that we're on. We're gonna be obviously on YouTube. We're gonna be wherever my old audio only episodes are on
Mhm.
Spotify, Apple, all the things there. Find those. You can listen to those as well. Some of them may be a little more vulgar than with my new partner, and I appreciate that. But if you're an adult, you've heard words anyway, and you can forgive me. But I enjoy doing this podcast, and if you enjoy listening to us, like, subscribe, follow us as well. Also, support Chris on the Villain Support YouTube page as well, and we will continue cranking out more episodes for you guys.